Simonhöhe in Austria for parallel giant slalom. 8 of 13 that are scheduled on the Visa FIS Snowboard Alpine World Cup for 25-26 season. This is the penultimate giant slalom race before the Olympic Winter Games, and after the draw in Bansko last weekend, we move now to 30 kilometers north of Klagenfurt in the south of Austria, in central Carinthia, at the ski resort of Simonhöhe. Well, this is the third time that the Tour has stopped here, with the riders having raced here in 2022 and 2024. It is a slope that is in stark contrast to last weekend, less steep, but requires the riders to be super clean and to generate their own speed. That said, still a challenge to the world's best. Special race for Sabine Paya. This is her home fan organizer. She knows the track inside, and there's one on 3 of the 4 occasions she's raced here, once as an individual. This is part of a team, that first team effort actually, with her then boyfriend, now husband, Alex Paya. Not such a good day for him, I'm afraid. He just missed out on the final bracket, 17th in qualification, so huge disappointment for him. But I'm sure he'll be in attendance with friends and family to support his other half. A really friendly family resort in the southern Austrian Alps as we look back up towards the top. We are, over halfway through the season, and it's very leaders bibs, and another chat will unfold here in southern Austria today. 2 races for you, I was going to say this weekend, but today and tomorrow. Vigil parallel giant slalom today, and a slalom event tomorrow, mixed team event. Yeah, the stunning scenery in and around Simonhöhe, whether it be winter or summer. Plenty to do here, but today we're focusing on the world's best alpine snowboarders. As I was mentioning, just over halfway through the season, and very close in the race for the various leaders bibs. In the PGS standings, Benji Karl of Austria leads the way by 17 points from Aaron March and 53 from Mauro Bormolini. In the overall, March leads by 9 from Bormolini, with Karl in third, 30 points back. So one bad result, and that can all shift around. On the women's side, Miki Zubaki leads the parallel giant slalom standings by 17 from Elisa Caffon, with Sabine Paya 84 points off Miki. In the overall, Caffon leads the way by 28 from Miki, with Dalmasso 107 back. In the 7 parallel giant slalom races so far this season, on the men's side, we've had 6 different winners. Italy have been the dominant force, but it was a bad weekend for them in Bulgaria last weekend. No riders made the podium. In race 1, that was the first time an Italian hadn't been in the top 3 for 15 races, and then they went back to back without anybody on the podium. On the women's side, there have been 5 winners, with Ramona Hofmeister and Paya the only 2-time winners. Big news though this weekend on the women's side of things. The reigning world and Olympic champion in parallel dance, racing the first time world since December of 2024 when she raced in Milin, China. And she is looking for 3 in a row in this discipline at Milano Cortina next month. 8th of February is the Olympic giant slalom race. Sure to tune in to that.
Immer so?
Vom Start oben. Hier der Blick auf die rot-weiß-rote Schweizer Fahnen. Im Publikum, nehmt mal die Hände nach oben. Das ist die Snowboard-Familie hier auf der Simonhöhe. The world is ready for the 8 finals.
So these are the scenes at the top. And in the women's side of thing this season, we talked about Hofmeister and Paya being 2 times other winners in parallel giant slalom down the opener in Milin. Mickey the second race in Milin. Then Paya went back-to-back Cortina and Carezza. Hofmeister then went back-to-back Squall and Bansko won before Caffon won slalom on the World Cup in Bansko 2, or the second race of Bansko, having won her first parallel slalom in Davos before Christmas. On the men's side of things, Bormolini won the opener in Milin, Felicetti the second race. Then it went March and Fishnala as Italy won the first 4 races. Arvin Auna broke that run in the parallel slalom in Davos before it was service resumed. Fishnala in Squall, Bormolini and Baggerstein before that bad weekend in Bansko. Benji Karl rolling back the years for his first parallel giant slalom victory in nearly 2 years in the first of the Bansko races, and then the second Bansko race in the men's competition. Well, what a day that was for Bulgaria. Tervel Zamfirov getting his first ever victory on home snow, and Radoslav Yankov in third. The first time ever Bulgaria had 2 races on the same podium, and what an atmosphere it was in the finish area for that second Bansko race. So let's have a look at the conditions. A hard-packed track. It's low in Simonhöhe. The village is about 800 meters, so it's going to have seen and -4 with a snow temperature of -30. So hopefully no degradation in the track. In terms of timings, very little difference between the 2 sets of gates. I think it was 0.05 of a second between the courses. 22 gates, 20 turning gates, 2 banana gates.
so auch Martina Ankele. Ja, der Alex sehr viel zutraut hier auf Heimpodium. Ein 8. Platz bei der WM. Das ist die Errungenschaft auf ihrem Lebenslauf. Was war das für ein großartiges Spiel? Und sie ist auch Vizestaatsmeisterin hier geworden. Hinter Sabine Peyer.
Und natürlich Miki Tsubaki. Also das ist schon mal...
Michi, Uwe. Michi da unten 4. oder 5. Viertletztes Tor auf Rot. Also je nach die Flagge ist verdreht.
Martina Ankele und Tsubaki Miki ins Rennen.
Gute Nummer. DJ Dirty Ben. Jetzt weiß ich, warum du Dirty Ben hast. Was Gastliche Delegation ab, Tourismus, Landesrat Sebastian Schulschmidt ist da. Servus, wer kann, muss, darf, will.
Ja, möchte. Wird auch in der Liga mitfiebern.
Heads up everybody. Course preparation is completed. About 1.5 minutes to start first heat.
The voice of Uwe Bayer, who's looking over proceedings. And it's almost a picture postcard day here in the Austrian Alps as we get ready for the first of the round of 16 coming in the women's competition. The scene is set for parallel Jan Slalom number 8. So here is the bracket from the women's parallel giant slalom. Mickey Caffon in the same quarter of the bracket you just saw there. Ledechka, who was the quickest in qualification, the number 1 seed. So some interesting races coming up if the seeding goes as it might suggest, with Mickey and Caffon facing off in the quarters, and then Ledechka, if she gets through to the semi-finals, awaiting one of those two. But as we all know, sport isn't played out on paper, and all those athletes have got to work hard for the opportunity to get through to the next round at whatever stage they are at. Coming up, women's parallel giant slalom, round of 16. And it is the defending World Cup champion who is going to get us underway. That is Martina Ankele of Austria up against Miki Tsubaki of Japan. Now these two met in the first round in Bansko in the first race there, with Miki coming out on top. Ankele on the red track, Miki Tsubaki on the blue. The blue's to the left as we look. And away they go. And as you can see, they're not electrically quick out of the gate, but now they're really starting to get some pace. And it's Miki on the left-hand side who is turning her board first, and Ankele with work to do here. Ankele, best finish this season, 14th. She's going to have to work really hard here. Miki's been riding beautifully, but a couple of errors close to home have cost her in Bansko, but not here. Comfortably through to the quarter-final by nearly a second. PGS standings leader is through. Let's have another look from the drone overhead. And early on, well, you can see that acceleration from Mickey through that second and third gate. Little error from Mickey on that front side turn. Miki Subaki comfortably through to the quarterfinals. Elisa Caffon of Italy on the red course up against Alexandra Krolvalas of Poland on the blue course. These two raced off in the quarterfinals in the second of the Bansko races, with Caffon coming out on top on her way to her first ever PGS victory. And Caffon perhaps marginally in front. It's really hard to tell. But now Krolvalas, I would say, turning the ball first. And Krolvalas looking very smooth through that middle section. And Caffon is got a lot of work to do. Krolvalas, who took advantage of some of her opponent's mistakes in the last two races, doesn't need to here. She dominates from start to finish. It's another win for Krolvalas. And Caffon, the standings, overall standings leader, falls at the first hurdle. Well, that is going to make life very interesting in the overall. A lead over Miki Subaki was 28. So a deep run here from the Japan athlete. Could see her over to potentially overtake Caffon. But let's just wait and see how it all pans out. But it will be Krolvalas against Mickey in the top quarter final. Aurélie Moissin of Canada now on the red course up against Jasmine Karati on the blue. These two met in Squall before Christmas, with Karati coming out on top on that occasion. Karati, fourth in Cortina, the best of her results this season. A sixth in Bansko in the first of the two races, the best for Moissin. And Karati on the blue course. Oh, I was going to say turning her ball first, but it's really even between these two. And the overhead would say Moissin, but is that a little error from Moissin? It is. And it's cost her. It shaved off all her speed. And it will be Karati that progresses.
Und es ist auch immer schön mitzuerleben, wie die Damen sich da gegenseitig pushen, gratulieren.
And Moissin was going along really nicely. Let's see if we can see this error where speed got shaved off. Nothing in that slow-mo. Good riding from Karati through to the quarterfinals. And she will face the winner of our next race. It is about to get underway. Well, the legend returns. The most dominant, versatile force in winter sports history is here. Double Olympic champion, reigning world champion, the only athlete in history to win Olympic gold in two different sports at the same games, Esther Ledecka. Fresh off a Super G podium on Alpine skis in Tarviso last weekend, now back on the Alpine Snowboard World Cup for the first time since December 2024, and she's up against Farina Bacci of Switzerland. And it is Ledecka on the blue course, so it has her board turning first. She was the fastest in qualification, and she has taken meters out of Bacci in the opening quarter of this race. Let's not forget Ledecka also won a bronze in the downhill at the World Championships in Saalbach last year as well on Alpine skis. And she is dominating here. Ledecka returns to competitive Alpine snowboard action with a 1.6 second win over Bacci of Switzerland.
Ist hier ins Achtelfinale gegangen.
What a ride from Ledecka. Bacci, well, didn't really do anything too wrong. She's just up against one of the very, very best. Bacci's third bracket of the year, the 22-year-old, beaten by Ledecka, who's hiding behind her board.
In the quarterfinals.
Well, there she is.
Good to see you.
Lucia Dalmasso, the number 2 seed, up against Kaylee Buck of Canada. Buck second in Cortina. What a performance that was by her. Up against Dalmasso, who won the opener in Milan, China.
Who's ready? Attention!
A first meeting between these two this season. And as the riders try and work their board to get the pace up, the first error comes from Buck, a little in the back seat and away with the windows, but she has recovered well, has Buck, and very little to choose between them, but Dalmasso has the board turning first. Now Dalmasso has a more visible advantage, and it will be Dalmasso that qualifies comfortably. 0.92 of a second faster than Kaylee Buck. Buck beaten comfortably in the end by 0.92. Dalmasso showing really good form to progress to the quarterfinals. Confirmation then. Next up is Julie Zog of Switzerland on the red course, Susanna Madarova of Czechia on the blue. Madarova has been super consistent this year. These two met in Badgestein under the lights in the parallel slalom, Zog winning on that occasion. And away they go. Madarova made the semi-finals of the first 4 races this season on parallel giant slalom, and a second spot in Davos as well before Christmas. Since then, hasn't quite gone as it had done before Christmas, but here comes Madarova now, and she starts to extend that lead over Zog. Zog, who is hanging up her board at the end of this season, is going to be well beaten here in the first round in Simonhöhe, and Madarova gets through to the quarterfinals.
From Susanna Madarova, and we congratulate for coming out to Julie Doctor.
Another great ride from Madarova. All smiles for Madarova, through to face Dalmasso in quarterfinal 3. Well, what a race we've got on our hands here now. Ramona Hofmeister up against Sabina Paya of Austria. Paya, the only Austrian woman in the bracket. She out-qualified Hofmeister. She's chosen the blue course, and she'll be hoping that the blue course continues to dominate. It's won every race so far. 6 from 6 have gone the way of the blue course. Paya on home snow knows every inch of this hill, and she's got her board just in front of Hofmeister. Hofmeister, who returned late in the season after recovering from injury. Turned after Christmas, but she's got work to do here, because Paya on the left of screen, barring a mistake, is going to qualify, and Paya through by half a second. Big challenge for Paya. She responds. Well, in qualification, there was less than 1% difference between the two courses in terms of time, but when we've come to the bracket, it's 7 out of 7 for the blue course. Hofmeister not really doing anything visibly wrong, but she just didn't have the pace. Well, delight for the home crowd. Sabina Paya, who missed out in Bansko to recover from an ankle injury, returns in good form, beating Hofmeister. The last of our heats, Iris Flum of the United States up against Michelle Dekker of the Netherlands. These two met in Baggerstein in the parallel slalom, with Dekker getting the better of Flum on the way to a second place finish, and she's got a better start. Dekker, the Dutch athlete, on the right as we look from above. Flum with a good start, and Dekker perhaps just riding a more rounder line. But now starting to get the board turning marginally in front of Flum, and now you can see that she is leading this race. Dekker on that left-hand side is through to the quarterfinals. Dekker, 4th in Beijing 4 years ago at the Winter Olympic Games. Can she go better in Milano Cortina? Well, she's into the quarterfinals here in Simonhöhe. So Dekker confirmed as the quarterfinalist.
Quarterfinals. Congrats.
So let's have a look then at the bracket. Miki Kroll-Vallas, quarterfinal 1. Karate Ledechka in quarterfinal 2. Kafon, the overall standings leader, out in the first round. That could prove interesting. Then it's Dalmaso Madarova, Paya against Dekker. That's the bottom half of the draw. So next up, men's parallel giant slalom at round of 16. And here we go. These are the brackets. Orban Koshir, Formulani Mashnak, Rabansa Karate, Lee Yankov, March against Huber, Karl against Promiga, Kim Baumeister, Fischnaller, Marguch, but all Austrian affair in there as well. So definitely an Austrian in the quarterfinals, which will please those at the bottom with the red and white flags. Fabian Nordmann learned to ride, took his first turns in Simonhöhe. 4th quickest in qualification, up against Zan Koshir. Bashir, best this season of 8th. That was in Squall. Bashir 2 times third at the Olympic Games, 2014 and 2018. Second at the World Champs in 2015. And Oldman with a bit of work to do, coming off a 2nd place finish in Bansko. But he finds himself a 10th off the pace. But here comes Oldman now. Oldman working that board really hard, using the local knowledge to his advantage. And Fabian Oldman books his place in the quarterfinals. Come from behind win against Jan Kusier.
Und jetzt erst einmal einen Applaus für Jan Kusier. Und für die Qualifikation Quarterfinals.
Well, yet another win for the blue track. 9 out of 9. And that's the problem. You make a mistake on this hill, there isn't anywhere to get the pace back, and you can see he's running late in the line. He's gone into the softish or the more sort of sluffy snow on the side of the racing line, rather on the smoother track in the middle. Oldman qualified for the quarterfinals. Bib number 12 is Tim Mashnak of Slovenia. He's up against Mauro Bormolini of Italy. Bormolini, the parallel slalom winner, the overall winner last season, and parallel giant slalom, and he's off to a decent start. First meeting between these two this season, but again, oh, Mashnak, did he just hang a little long on that toe side turn? It's desperately close. The clock has Bormolini in front, and Bormolini seems to be turning his ball first. And it's going to be an, oh no, he's gone down, Mashnak. And Bormolini goes through on the blue track. Our first faller is Mashnak. Disappointing for Mashnak. He raced beautifully well in Squall to finish there, but no joy in Simonhöhe for Mashnak. Bormolini confirmed in the quarterfinals. An all-Italian affair now. Tommy Rabanza, the number 8 seed on the blue course, up against Edwin Karate, the number 9 seed. And Rabanza, 18 years of age, made his World Cup debut a year ago in Bansko. Made his first World Cup bracket in Bansko last time out. He finished 14th, second in both parallel giant slalom and parallel slalom at the Junior World Champs last season. Up against Karate, whose best finish was a 4th place finish in Cortina. No podiums for the Italian so far this season. For Karate, that is. So it's Rabanza nearest to us. Karate's on the far side, but it is Karate who is turning his ball first. But Rabanza starting to come back at his teammate. And Rabanza now has his board in front by 900ths of a second. Rabanza looking for his first World Cup bracket win. It's going to be tight, but he's got it. Rabanza by 1/4 of a second moves into the quarterfinals of a World Cup race for the first time. Great ride from the youngster. No wonder he's smiling. It's Bib 8 that's going to take the spoils in this one. Another victory for the blue course. 11 from 11 now on the blue course. So well, it's Lee Sung-ho, the number 1 seed from Korea, up against Radoslav Yankov of Bulgaria.
Attention.
Lee lost to Yankov in the opening race in Squall. Chance to right that. Hasn't won a race on a bracket this season. Has Lee. Can he get his first win here in Simonhöhe? It's Yankov slightly in front. Lee with work to do. Lee starting to come now. And this is going to be really close. I think Lee's got him. He has. 1300ths of a second. That's our closest race so far.
Gewinner aus 2018 bei seinen Heimspielen in Korea. War mit dem Team 2022 hier auf der Simonhöhe aufgekommen am Podest. Gemeinsam mit
Lee had to work really hard for that win. Races in a blue suit, so can be confused for an Italian racer, but that is Lee. The parallel slalom globe winner from 23-24 through to the next round. Elias Huber of Germany, bib 15, up against Aaron March. He has the red bib for the standings leader.
Red course ready. Blue course ready.
Huber fourth in Mylin, the second of the two races there. March winning in Cortina. And second in Karetsa. Didn't make the bracket in Bansko in the second race. But March, nearest to us, just has his board turning first. And Huber, with work to do, runs a little wide there. And March is going to take this one, barring a big error. March through to the quarterfinals. And it pays to be the higher bib here in Simonhöhe today, because the higher bib chooses the track, and the blue track has delivered in every single race thus far. Aaron March through to the next round. So Benji Karl up against Andy Promiger, the Austrian head-to-head. Oh, this is royalty right here. Karl, a world champion in 11 and 13, the Olympic game champion. Promiger, world champion in 2017. But no better than fourth in Karetsa this season. Karl winning for the first time in nearly 2 years in the first race in Bansko. Who's going to take bragging rights here? Karl won a race earlier this season between these two in Cortina. And I tell you what, Promiger is putting one down on the red track. But here comes Karl in the latter turns. Karl's going to take this just. Karl squeezes home by 1500ths of a second. Gets one over on his teammate. Karl will face March in the next round. The two bib holders go head to head in the quarterfinals. That's a fascinating encounter. Kim Sang-yun from Korea up against Stefan Baumeister of Germany. Kim on the blue course. And for Kim, his third bracket of the season. He lost in Cortina to Karate, lost in Squall to Fishnala. Baumeister actually hasn't fared too much better, although he started the season well, second in the second mile-in race, but then missed out in Squall and the first race in Bansko before coming back to make the bracket in Bansko, but going out in the first round, and he's going to go out in the first round here, barring an error from Kim, which isn't going to happen. Strange how no difference in time between the two tracks really in qualification, but it's clearly advantageous to be on the blue track in the bracket. Gone 15 from 15 on the blue course. Roland Fischnaller will look to make it 16 from 16.
Und wir beginnen ins 8.
Kim Seung Kyum through to the quarterfinals. His first quarterfinal of the season. Heat number 8 then. Rok Margok of Slovenia up against Roland Fischnaller of Italy. And for Margok, this is his first bracket of the season. Fischnaller, well, he's only made 3 brackets, but he's made them count. He was 5th in Cortina, having not gone to Mile-In, to be fair to him. And then he won back-to-back races in Carezza and Squall. That's the last time we saw him in the bracket, and it's Margok on the red course who's got his ball turning first, but here comes the blue course finish, and it is Fischnaller who will make it through to the quarterfinals and round off 16 consecutive wins on the blue track.
Was ist das für eine knappe Entscheidung? Und es gibt keine Zeit zum Überschnaufen, denn wir kommen in die Entscheidung der Viertelfinale bei den Damen.
Nothing that the Slovenian could do about that one. Fischnaller, the world champion, through to the quarterfinals.
Gegen Jasmine Korati. Lucia Del Masso gegen Susanna Materova und im 14. Viertelfinale.
So, Orban and Bormolini winning their first round races. Rabanza, his first win on the World Cup Tour. And then look at that third quarter final. The PGS standings leader Carl up against the overall standings leader March. Then it's Kim against Fischnaller. Coming up, we turn our attention back now to the women's competition and the parallel giant slalom quarterfinals. Miki Krolvalas, Karate Ledeshka, Damaso Madarova, Paya Deka. There is Miki Subaki on the blue course, Alexandra Krolvalas on the red course. Now, Krolvalas took advantage of a Mickey error in the semi-final back in Bansko, in the first of those semi-finals to get in, first of the races to get into the big final. But she also beat her in Carezza as well. So Miki Subaki will be pretty keen to get one over on Krolvalas if she can, but she's going to have to stay clean because she knows any error will be pounced upon. And it is Miki who, oh, here comes Krolvalas. Tell you what, that was a heck of a finish from Krolvalas, but Miki gets the better of her nemesis this season to book her place in the semi-final. That was tight. Corvallis came really strong in the final turns. And that overhead, you could really see her gaining the ground on Miki. Miki Zubacki through to face the winner of quarterfinal 2. Esther Ledechka on the blue course, Jasmine Karate on the red. Karate up against it, not least because she's on the red course that hasn't won a race yet today across men or women. But not only that, on the blue course she has this lady here, Esther Ledechka, the #1 seed. As the cloud just starts to come over and make the light a little flatter, Ledechka already into a comfortable lead, and what we've seen in previous races is the red course be almost parity with the blue course through the opening turns. But here you can see Ledechka is visibly in front of Karate. Karate starting to try and make a comeback, but Ledechka is through, and through by 0.61 of a second. She will face off against Miki Zubacki in the top semi-final. A script writer's dream. Miki Zubacki against Esther Ledechka. But the way the qualification has panned out, it's a semi-final and not the big final. But you can see, actually, Karate's done well because Ledechka was out in front quite comfortably in the opening turns. But Karate came back at her. And once again, Esther just hiding behind her board.
Und in der Stein also ihre österreichischen.
Lucia Dalmasso up against Susanna Madarova. These two have met twice this season, once in Mylin, where Dalmasso came out on top on her way to victory. The second meeting was in Davos in parallel slalom, where Madarova came out on top on her way to second place. So who's going to win this one? Madarova seems to run a little wide in the line on that hillside turn, but she's got her board turning first here as Madarova, as Karate goes down. And finally, the red track is going to have a winner. And it is going to be Susanna Madarova, who strikes first on the red course. Lucia Dalmasso, I'm afraid, is out. Let's see if we can have another look at this. Disappointment for the Italian. Delight though for Madarova. Madarova, semi-finals once again. The 6th semi-final this season. The last of the quarterfinals, Sabine Paier of Austria on the red course, Michelle Dekker of Netherlands on the blue. Dekker lost to Paier in the first round of the second race in Mylin. She also lost to Paier in the first round of the parallel slalom in Davos. And Dekker, the third time of asking, get one over on Paier. Now Paier needs to use all her local knowledge here to work that red course. It has not been a happy hunting ground. Is that a little error from Paier? Did she get pitched forward on the board? And how much speed has that lost her? Dekker going along really nicely. Paier trying to really get something on that red course. Dekker though turning the board first, and Dekker is through to the semi-finals. Paier's run here on home snow comes to an end in the quarters.
semifinals out.
The last of the Austrians falls.
Und schauen wir nochmal zu, der Sabine.
I think there was a little stumble further up the track from Pyatt.
Ja, Gratulation an die Niederländerin Michelle Becker.
Was für ein Fight hier in dem Viertelfinale.
Michelle Decker through to the semi-final.
Sammeln und hinauf.
So let's have a look then at our semi-final lineup. Miki Zubacki up against Esther Ledechka, Madarova against Decker. Two cracking races coming your way. Men's parallel giant slalom quarterfinals coming up. Let's have a look then at the bracket getting us underway. Bormolini against Obman. Obman though qualifying as the fourth quickest, so he will be on the blue course. Rabansa Lee the quickest there, so I'm sure he'll go blue. March against Carl, Aaron March the quickest there, and then Kim against Fishnoller. Fishnoller the fastest on in that quarter final. So it is Obman on the blue track, Bormolini on the red.
Course ready. Attention.
And away they go. And a first meeting between these two this season. And it's Oldman who's marginally in front. That's an error from Bormolini, who goes under the advertising hoarding and keeps in the track. And the error coming from the Italian, who then skis out of the gates. So delight for Austria. They are going to have someone in one of the finals. It's Fabian Oldman. Qualifies for the semi-final on home snow.
Schon im Halbfinale.
Probieren wir das doch mal mit Vorname, Nachname. Fabian!
There's the out. Have a look at this for a little bit of skill. And then a second fall, and that's enough for Mauro, I'm afraid. Not his day, but it is Ogman's, so far at least.
Zu diesen beiden Männern.
Yes, Männer!
Fabi, gratuliere.
In der Überform.
Und auch
Oh man, full of smiles.
die
Carries on his good form from Bansko, where he was 8th and 2nd. Lee Sang-ho
Blue course ready.
against Tommy Rabansa. Career against Italy. And what an opportunity this is for Lee. His last win was a parallel slalom in Winterberg in 2024. His last parallel giant slalom win in 2021 over in Russia. And here he's got the better of Rabansa. And he's through to the semi-finals. Really good overhead shots. See how the athletes work the boards. Lee Sang-ho through to the final four here in Simonhöhe.
Finals Tommy Rabansa.
So Benji Carl on the red track, bib number 7. He's up against Aaron March. Well, this is a repeat of the final in Cortina. which March won. Carl then beat him in the first race in Bansko in round 1. So who will win the third bout? Well, the advantage is with the red bib over the yellow bib, because the red course has won all bar one race here today. But can the parallel giant slalom standings leader Carl on the right of screen get one over on the overall standings leader March on the blue course? Really close this one, but March is going to have that blue course finish. He's got him. Really close. Call that one, but March does just enough. Let's have another look at this race. There really was nothing to choose between them all the way down. They've delivered the closest race in terms of time gap at the bottom, 9/100ths of a second. But for the Austrian fans, I'm afraid it's gone against their man. They've still got Oldman though. And the race between these two, we have so much respect for one another, goes the way of Aaron March. So Roland Fischnaller up against Kim Sang-yum. For Kim, this will be a best performance of the season, win or lose. And in the early stages, Kim perhaps getting his board turning first, but here comes Fischnaller on the blue course. Fischnaller with a marginal advantage. And in fact, Kim giving a really good account of himself. Here comes Kim. Has Fischnaller got it? I tell you what, I think Kim has just lost out 8/100ths of a second. 100th closer than the March Carl race. 8/100ths of a second. Fischnaller over Kim. I thought Kim actually might have him. It was really close. Great heat from Kim. Fischnaller qualifies for the semi-finals.
Roland Fischnaller.
Der Routinier geht gleich nochmal auf.
So let's just confirm our lineup semi-final. Oldman, Lee, March, Fischnaller, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The top 4 seeds through to the semi-finals. However, as we pan back to the top, not the case in the women's semi-final, which are coming right up. The one are normally coming in the bottom half of the draw, where Madarova is the number 7 seed, but Ledechka is 1, Mickey is 4, Decker is 3, Madarova 7. The blue course has delivered every time bar 1 today. But what an opening heat we have here. Miki Subaki, last season's champion, up against the 2-time Olympic champion Esther Ledechka. It is, as I say, scriptwriter's dream, this one. The only difference, I guess, would be if this could be the big final as opposed to the semi-final. However, we should enjoy it, because these two will be harbouring hopes and expectation and aspiration to go deep into the Olympic Winter Games race on February the 8th. And Esther Ledechka has actually opted to race the parallel giant slalom rather than the women's downhill. There's a schedule clash. They happen on the same day. They're not in the same resort, so the transfer between them is 4 hours, and the time difference is like an hour and a half, 2 hours. There's no way Ledechka could make it across in time. So she's opted for Alpine snowboard rather than downhill. And it's Ledechka on the blue track, Miki on the red track. And away they go. Can Miki Tsubaki on that right-hand side push Ledechka close in this semi-final? Ledechka has been so quick all day on this blue course, and Miki's not allowing her to get away. And in fact, Miki is having a really good ride over on that red course, but Ledechka has nearly 2/10 of an advantage as they come to the closing 3 or 4 gates. Here comes Miki Tsubaki. She's run just a little wide on that gate 3 from home. And Ledechka gets home by 1600ths.
Kleines Finale für Tsubaki Miki.
And Ledechka gets one over on the yellow bib. And she will have a shot at a winning return to Snowboard Alpine World Cup action. Esther Ledechka qualifies for the big final. Miki Tsubaki for the small final. Next up is Michelle Decker up against Susanna Madarova. Madarova beat Decker in Karetsa in the quarterfinals. Can Decker rewrite that one here on Austrian snow? It's a blanket start with Decker. Oh, that's hard to tell. I'd say Madarova's turning the ball first. Well, she was a moment ago, but now it's Decker who's got herself in front. Is that a little wobble from Madarova? This is very tight. Madarova's in front. Madarova goes down. So does Decker. And they've both gone down at the same point, have they? But Decker is the right side of the gate. So Decker hasn't skied out the track. And so it will be Decker that will go through because she didn't slide out the track. Well, the fall favoured Decker there massively. Well, they both went down at the same point.
Wow. Okay.
But for Madarova, she her fall took her out the course. Watch here. Goes down. She needs to make a heel side turn, whereas Decker goes down. Yep, goes to the right side of the gate into the netting at the side. They both go exactly the same gate, but unfortunately for Madarova, she slid inside her gate and outside the line. So it is Decker who qualifies for the big final somehow. So Ledechka gets the better of Miki and sets up the big final against Decker, who well, by default got the better of Madarova. So the blue course again delivering. Men's parallel giant slalom semi-final time. Oldman Lee, March Fischnaller. The top 4 seeds in qualification. Lee the number 1 seed, Oldman the number 4 seed, March 2, Fischnaller 3. The red course has not delivered a winner yet in the men's competition.
Red course ready.
Can Oldman
Attention.
buck that trend here, or will Lee continue it? Away they go. And Oldman, who beat Lee in Bansko in the first round, has his board turning first here, and Lee's got a bit of work to do on that blue course. Oldman, remember, was in really good form in Bansko, got a podium there, and he's got his board in front, and Lee runs a little wide. Oldman's got him. The first win on the red course comes in the semi-final, and it's Fabian Oldman who gets one over on the #1 seed. Oldman into the big final. A big final in Bansko, a big final in Simonhöhe. There was the error from Lee. He's beaten by 11 hundredths of a second, and that was the error on the front side turn. Oldman riding cleanly and getting the win. Fabian Oldman pats his board. He is in good form right now, the Austrian. Back to the top we go. Semi-final #2. Fishnala of Italy on the red course, March of Italy on the blue.
Attention.
What have these two got in store for us? This is a repeat of the big final in Carezza, which Fishnala won for March. Oh, it's really tight. And on that red course, it's Fishnala who's got his board turning a little bit in front of March. March has got some work to do in these closing turns. We've seen fast finishing on the blue course, but Fishnala's got him. 2 in the row for the red course in the semi-finals. And that will throw things into the mix when it comes to who chooses which track. It's the 3rd and 4th seed that are going to go head-to-head in the big final. The 1st and 2nd seed that go head-to-head in the small final. Interesting times here. Fishnala with the win. Into the big final. A 3rd podium on the way for him. Second win of the season over his teammate and friend Aaron March.
Fishnala geht weiter. The man, the fish himself.
Let's go, fish.
Confirmation then. It is Lee against March, 1 against 2 in the small final. Oldman against Fishnala, 4 against 3 in the big final. Well, a little pause as we get ourselves ready for the women's parallel giant slalom small final. Miki Zubacki up against Susanna Madarova. Now these two have met just twice. They met in Milan in the 2nd race there in the semi-final. Miki won on that occasion. And then in the small final in Carezza, where Miki won once more. confirmation then of the lineup. We've got Miki Zubacki, the number 4 seed, up against Zuzana Madarova, the number 7 seed. Then Esther Ledechka, the number 1 seed, up against Michelle Decker, the number 3 seed. Madarova won on the red course in her quarterfinal against Dalmasso. When Dalmasso went down, that is the only win in the women's competition on the red course. As we look back up, you can see the yellow bib of Miki on the left-hand side. So she is on the blue course, Madarova on the red course. Confirmation there.
Red course ready.
Here we go then. Small final upon us. Miki against Madarova. Miki visualizing the track. And away they go. And a very level start between these two in this small final. But it is Miki who has 0.2 of a lead at the first split time. When you look at the pictures, it looks a lot closer than 0.2, and it's down to 1/10. And in fact, you'd say Madarova is turning her board first over on that red track. Miki Zubacki is going to have to go some here, and Madarova's come through to take 3rd place. Madarova wins, and that is now 3 in a row on the red course. It's another podium for Madarova, her 3rd of the season. She really is having a superb season. Miki Zubacki had the lead halfway down, but Madarova came strong towards the end. It was really fast, lovely carving from Madarova. Picked the perfect line. Well raced. Madarova, super run from her.
Czech Republic. Euer Applaus für Susanna Madarova, 3. Platz.
Madarova, 3rd here
Das schöne Lächeln am Anfang.
in Simonhöhe. So the final race of the women's parallel giant slalom in Simonhöhe features Esther Ledechka, the number 1 seed, up against Michelle Decker, the number 3 seed. Ledechka from the Czech Republic, Decker from the Netherlands. Decker up against it. Ledechka on her return to the World Cup in snowboard alpine racing since December of 24, when they raced in Mylin. This phenomenal athlete taking on Michelle Decker, who is a fantastic athlete in her own right, but Ledechka delivers across not only alpine snowboard but alpine skiing as well. Olympic and World Championship medals in both disciplines. It is quite a remarkable story. But it's all about this race. It's all about delivering here in Simonhöhe on her return to Snowboard Alpine World Cup action. Can Michelle Decker spoil Ledechka's party? They're away in the big final. Ledechka on the blue course to the left of screen as we look here, and she's got her board turning first. Ledechka was really quick in qualification, and Decker has got to try and hang on in there, try and make some inroads into this deficit, apply some pressure to Ledechka if she can, and see if Ledechka has the answers. And if we go to the overhead, you can see Ledechka comfortably in front as they come through these final turns. Ledechka crosses the line and wins by 0.43 of a second. Esther Ledechka returns to the Visa FIS Snowboard Alpine World Cup after, 13-14 months away, and returns with a victory. What a week it has been for her. third in the Super G on Alpine Skis in Tarviso last weekend. She wins on her snowboard in Simonhöhe in Austria on the Friday. Clean, fast riding from Ledecka. Decker, well, she didn't do an awful lot wrong. It's just Ledecka was quicker and more precise. Well, Esther Ledecka is the winner here in Simonhöhe in front of Decker and Madarova. So let's have a look then at the final points tally. Ledecka, Decker, Madarova, Mickey picking up 50 points in fourth place. Caffon only picking up 22, so that will alter things at the top end of the standings. That's that 28 points difference.
Esther, congrats at first, and what can I say? Welcome back on tour. It's your first race on the season and straight to the top podium. Tell us your story of the day. You were also super fast in the qualis and win the qualis.
Yeah, it was really nice prepared. The course is amazing here. I'm really happy that I can be back on snowboard. It was so much fun. I think 2 podiums in 5 days in 2 different sports. It's a pretty good week.
What's next?
I don't know, to be honest. I told my team that I'll decide after today if I go to Crans Montana or if we go to Rogla. I still am not sure, so I'll take some more minutes to think that through, and then we'll see.
Amazing. Esther, congrats again.
It's extraordinary. It's just so difficult to put into words just how good she is. I guess you just have to say that sentence there. 2 podiums in 5 days across 2 different sports. That sums it up. Phenomenal. Okay, let's get back now to the men's parallel giant slalom and the last 2 races. The first up is the small final. Lee of Korea against March of Italy. And Aaron March on the red course, Lee Sang-ho on the blue. Both will be disappointed to have lost their respective semi-finals from the blue course, which has been so dominant all day. Who can win this last race for these two here in Simonhöhe? And as we get into the first big turns, it's March on the red course who's got his board slightly in front. And March now leading nicely, visibly, by, I don't know, 1/5 of a gate. 5 gates from home. Lee needs to put on the afterburners, but he's not going to catch Aaron March, it would appear. Aaron March comes home comfortably in the end, 0.2 of a second over Lee Sang-ho. Another podium for Aaron March. Disappointing for Lee that he couldn't convert the number 1 seed spot into a podium. Aaron March delivering what is a 10th parallel giant slalom podium. He prefers the parallel slalom, but I tell you what, he's coming good in PGS at just the right time. 6th podium of the season for him. Final race of the day, men's parallel giant slalom, big final. between Fabian Oldman of Austria on the red course, Roland Fischnaller of Italy on the blue course. So who is going to come out on top here? A first meeting between these two this season. Fischnaller looking for a 28th podium and 15th win in this discipline. Fabian Oldman, fresh off a second place in Bansko, which is only his second podium on the tour in parallel giant slalom, and it is Oldman who had the better start, but a little error from him has let Fischnaller back into the race, and it's Fischnaller now who is turning the ball first, is he? Oh, it's really close, this one. 1/100th of a second between them at the time split. Oldman trying to work the ball, but now Fischnaller's in front. Fischnaller turning his ball first. Fischnaller's going to win here in Simonhöhe. He wins by 0.4 of a second over Fabian Oldman. Second consecutive podium finish, a second consecutive second place finish for Fabian Oldman, but it is a 15th parallel giant slalom win for Roland Fischnaller. What a performance by him. His third parallel giant slalom win of the season after Carezza and Skoll. Now there's the little error. That's the difference between first and second. He was pushing hard because he knew he had to make time up on Fischnaller, and the error came. And Fisch takes the win. Right, a little jimming around at the bottom. But 1, 2, 3 is Fischnaller, Oldman, March. Italy back to where they have been this season with 2 on the podium and 1 of them on the top step of the podium. Let's get confirmation then of where the points have gone here today. Fischnaller taking the 100 points, Oldman 80, March 60, and March just extending that lead at the top. But a really good performance by Roland Fischnaller to take the win, the 45-year-old. Just an extraordinary season. Yet another victory.
We have Roland Fischnaller here with us, our winner in the men's competition on the first day in Simonhöhe. Roland, looks like you're collecting victories this season. 3 victories.
Yes, exact. Bansko. Yeah, I find a fantastic setup, I have to say. Works very well. Now I'm officially qualified for Livigno for the Olympics. That's also very nice. My 7th Olympics. And yes, I have to say, they did a very good job here in Simonhöhe. Alex asked me last week how to prepare the slope, and it was like, groom it and let it there. It's getting cold, and that will be a fantastic slope. And today they did a fantastic job. A lot of slippers and a lot of workers, and yeah, it was a fantastic race.
Hey, what can you tell us about big final? How was racing against Fab? He was really, really fast today.
He's really fast today, and the run before, I told him I really want to do the big final with you, and that was a good motivation. And yes, of course, he's a lot of years younger than me. He has a lot. His legs are more faster than mine, but I have the experience to handle these situations.
Amazing. Fisch, thanks and congrats again.
Yeah, 16 years. Or 15 and a bit younger Oldman than Fischnaller, but an extraordinary performance by Roland Fischnaller, and the Italian team just so strong. So we've still got the awards ceremony to come for the women and the men, as well as the giving of the bibs, and Mickey continues to lead in the parallel giant slalom standings. She led by 17, so that's extended for her. And there might be some change in the overall as well. I got a feeling they might actually be level, Caffon and Mickey, because I think the difference today was 28 points. March, he's back on top now, having taken over the yellow bib from Carl, but it's a very small gap. Lee Sang-ho with his fourth place jumps up 5 spots. Tim Mashnak also a big mover today, despite that disappointing exit in the first round. Well, what a day we've had of racing. Remember, we have the mixed team event tomorrow. That gets off quite a bit earlier at 10 o'clock in the morning local time, 9 a.m. UTC or GMT. So please set your clocks accordingly and join me for that one. But what a day we have had in Simonhöhe on the opening day of action. And we await the awards ceremonies, which are coming right up. Oh, what a day we have had of racing, and for Esther Ledechka, it's just extraordinary. It is a 20th parallel giant slalom win in her 37th parallel giant slalom World Cup start. Overall, her 26th win in 64 races. That's a win rate of 40% overall when you take into account parallel slalom as well. But if you're talking about just parallel giant slalom, she wins 54% of her races. It is extraordinary. Those are the awards that are going to be given out when we get this awards ceremony underway very shortly. A lot of hard work and preparation goes into these events. All that work you don't see behind the scenes, and it's delivered handsomely here today. Holman came so close to giving the Austrians the win they crave for. Sabina Parr unable to make the final four, going out in the quarter-final stage, but the red track, the dominant track here today. Madarova made it count most, coming from 7th seed to 3rd place in the podium. So as I say, the mixed team event tomorrow, then we have Rogla a week tomorrow on the 31st over in Slovenia, and then that is it before the Olympic Winter Games. And then we're back into action on the World Cup in Krynica back end of February. So a crazy January with lots and lots of racing going on. February less so, but with the big focus on the Olympic Winter Games. 4-year cycle all comes down to that one day, February the 8th, when you've got to get it right. And the hope for all the athletes is they just deliver their best performance, and if someone happens to be better than you on the day, then so be it. So long as you've given it your all and delivered everything you possibly can. Still we await. The start of this awards ceremony. Yeah, overall, Kafon and Mickey have gone level at 580 points at the top of the standings. Okay, let's get back into the finish area where we have the awards ceremony for the women's parallel giant slalom here in Simonhöhe.
Herzlich willkommen zur offiziellen Siegerehrung des heutigen Damen-FIS Snowboard Alpine Weltcup Parallel Riesentorlauf auf der Simonhöhe in Kärnten. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the winners presentation of today's women's Visa FIS Snowboard Alpine World Cup Parallel Giant Slalom held at the Simonhöhe Carinthia. Begrüße Sie mit mir die Gewinnerinnen des heutigen Riesentorlauf-Weltcups auf der Simonhöhe. Welcome the winners of today's women's for Parallel Giant Slalom 2026. Auf Platz 3, in 3rd place, aus Tschechien, representing the Czech Republic, Susanna Madarova.
Susanna Madarova, it's her 3rd podium of the season, her 2nd in parallel giant slalom, her 3rd PGS podium overall.
In the 2nd place, aus den Niederlanden, representing the Netherlands, Michelle Dekker.
For Dekker, this is her 1st PGS podium since Krynica on the 1st of March last year. It's her 2nd podium of the season, a silver in Baggestan under the lights.
FIS Snowboard Alpine Damen Weltcup Riesentorlauf. In 1st place, the winner of today's women's Visa FIS Snowboard Alpine World Cup Parallel Giant Slalom. Aus Tschechien, representing the Czech Republic, Esther Ledecka.
Esther Ledecka On the top step of the podium, a 20th parallel giant slalom victory for her. This extraordinary athlete keeps delivering at whatever alpine sport she decides she wants to compete in. There are your 1, 2, 3. Ledecka the winner, Decker in second, Malarova in third.
Skiverbandskampfen Dieter Mörtel für Susanna Maderova. Die Trophäe für die Zweitplatzierte wird übergeben vom Geschäftsführer Keller Energie und Wärme. The trophy for the second place lady is handed over by the CEO of Keller, Adi Melcher für Michelle Decker.
Congratulations to Michelle Decker. Starting to find some form now.
Und die Trophäe für die Siegerin wird übergeben vom Tourismuslandesrat in Kärnten. The trophy for today's winner is handed over by the Tourism Council of Carinthia, Sebastian Schuschnigg for Ista Ledecka.
Ledecka is the winner in Simonhöhe.
Und zu Ehren der Siegerin hören wir die Nationalhymne von der Tschechischen Republik.
Okay, let's have the national anthem of the Czech Republic.
We will now play the national anthem of the Czech Republic.
Well, it's been a while since we heard the Czech national anthem for Esta Ledecka.
Champagner-Sekt von Schlumberger.
Just over 13 months, but superb return to the
Over the champagne for the third place lady, Christoph
tour. Ah, we've got the champagne coming here.
Verantwortliche gibt Champagner für die Zweitplatzierte. Und zwar ist das Bianca Klendler, Hagen und der Champagner.
Handshakes all round.
Wird übergeben vom Hammerbüchern, unserem Generalsekretär des Landesskiverbands Kärntens, the General Secretary
Now
of the Corinthians.
have the photos.
Champagne for today's winner is Ledecka.
Your top three here in Simonhöhe, and top of the lot is Esta Ledecka.
Susanna Maderova, Michelle Decker, Esta Ledecka.
So the women make their way off. And now we await the men.
In kurzer Weiter mit den Herren. Thanks for accompanying us and celebrating the award ceremony of the ladies. We will continue with the males in a few moments. auf der Simonhöhe 2026. Please welcome the winners of today's men's FIS Snowboard.
Natashka enjoying herself, but the men are already out on the field of play.
Auf dem dritten Platz, in third place, aus Italien, representing Italy, Aaron March.
Aaron March, 10th parallel giant slalom podium of his career.
Zweiter Platz. In second place, aus Österreich, representing Austria, Fabian
Oldman, back-to-back parallel giant slalom podiums on the tour. He was third here the last time he raced, second this time. He'll be wanting to come back for another shot to get the full collection of trophies.
Snowboard Alpine Herren Weltcup Riesentorlauf. In first place, the winner of today's men's FIS Snowboard Alpine World Cup Parallel Giant Slalom. Aus Italien, representing Italy, Roland Fischnaller.
Fischnaller, a 15th career parallel giant slalom win and a 28th podium. Breaks the symmetry. He'd had 27 parallel slalom podiums, 27 PGS podiums before today. Well, it just means he'll have to go and win a parallel slalom. There's your 3, 2, 1. March Oldman with Fischnaller the winner here.
Sports Director of Corinthia von unserem Landessportdirektor in Kärnten, Arno Althofer für Aaron March. The trophy for the second placed man is handed over by the chairman of the Sparkasse Corinthia. Der Vorstandsvorsitzende der Kärntner Sparkasse übergibt
Trophies being given out.
an den Zweitplatzierten. Siegfried Huber für Fabian Ottmann.
Oldman delighted with his second place. Two on a spin though. He'll be desperate to win a big final soon. Maybe he's just waiting for Milano Cortina. Who knows? Going to have a very strong Italian team to contend with though, that's for sure. Roland Fischnaller, the winner in Simonhöhe 2026.
Meine Damen und Herren, zu Ehren des Siegers hören wir nun die Nationalhymne von Italien. In honor of the winner, we will now play the national anthem of Italy.
The Italian choir off to the right-hand side. They do get a lot of practice on that, don't they? A second podium here in Simonhöhe for Fish. He was third here in 2022 when Baumeister took the win and Maschnak was second. He's the winner in 2026. The first podium for March, as we mentioned. A second podium for Oldman here in Simonhöhe, having finished third here in 2024, the last time we were here. Photos first before the champagne shower. Everybody's keen to get those corks off. And well, we're having the champagne shower before we do the bibs. Oh my days, this is going to go a long way. Well, they're being very nice to one another. There you go. Owen's had it from March. The fish now are going across to share with his team. Look at the backroom staff. Talk about all the work that goes on behind the scenes to produce a World Cup event. Look at all the people that go into behind the scenes to get these athletes to where they are. Well done to the Italian team.
Meine Herren, Gratulation noch einmal. Was für eine Show.
March has left his ball behind. As the riders give their thanks to the volunteers behind the scene. Oh, here we go then. The presentation of the leaders in the parallel giant slalom standings, the yellow bibs.
Der Damen und Herren, Disziplinenwertung des FIS Snowboard Alpine Riesentorlauf Weltcups stand nach dem heutigen Rennen. Ladies and gentlemen, may we present you the women and men's leader of the FIS Snowboard Alpine World Cup Parallel Giant Slalom as of today. For the ladies representing Japan, Tsubaki Miki.
Miki Tsubaki still in yellow in the women's competition. And a new face now anyway. Aaron March takes over from Benjamin Carl on the parallel giant slalom standings after a third place finish in Simonhöhe. And they will wear those bibs when we reconvene in Rogle in 8 days' time.
Nächster Halt, Einkehr, jetzt geht's zur Borders Party. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending, for being part.
So that's it. Hope you enjoyed our coverage from Simonhöhe. We'll be back tomorrow morning for the mixed team parallel giant slalom event. From everybody here for the time being, goodbye for now.
nichts versteht beim Hörverständnis wie bei jedem.
Mit dem Welle vorher. Po moje ideja. Tam me čisto rekel dol. Po moje nekaj predvajajo še, ampak.
Okay, after Rogla. Okay, so we have Aaron Mark here with us, third place in the men's. Aaron, what can you tell us about the race today? How did it go and how was winning a small final?
Super race. I'm very happy with the third place. I had a good feeling also from beginning. It was pure pleasure to ride on this slope. It's very tough because it's an easy slope and everyone pushes like hell. And so you have to be every gate, push every gate and have a good line. And especially in the small final, I had really a good run from beginning until the end. So very happy with the third place.
With this result today, you're keeping the orange one, the overall leader, and also you took the yellow one in PGS from Karl. How does it feel?
Yeah, great, great. He took the yellow one in Bansko, and so I took it back. So yes, great. We had also a good fight today in the quarterfinals, and yes, there are a lot of races still. So let's take the rhythm, and I'm happy with how I'm riding, and happy with the yellow bib for sure. And let's go to the next races.
Yeah. So next race is already tomorrow, the second team event of the season. What's your plan for tomorrow? With who are you gonna team up?
I will go with Lucia Dalmasso. We won in Bad Gastein, so yes, I'm looking forward. I like to make team event, especially on this slope. It will be a cool race. Hoping the weather is good. I like to ride on the sun for sure, and so yeah, I'm looking forward. Lucia is also in a good shape, so we will see.
Grazie, Aaron. Now we do the Italian answers. Good. So, Aaron, what can you tell us about the race today? How did it go? How was winning small final against Lee?
Sì, bellissima gara, veramente dall'inizio fino alla fine devo dire che sì, sono riuscito a performare abbastanza bene. La finalina sono riuscito veramente di fare una bellissima run dalla cima fino in fondo e sono molto contento col terzo posto, sì.
You took back the yellow bib, the leader bib in PGS, and you also keeping the orange one, the overall leader. What can you tell us about that?
Sì, molto, molto bene, diciamo. Karl me l'ha presa a Bansko, quindi adesso gliel'ho ripreso, quindi mi dà soddisfazione sicuramente. Però ci sono ancora tantissime gare, siamo più o meno a metà, forse un po' di più, quindi sì, bisogna guardare avanti con una gara dopo l'altra e quello lo farò, quindi bello di essere in testa, però sì, ci concentriamo ancora su ogni gara, poi si vedrà un po' più avanti.
We have second team event of the season coming tomorrow. With who are you gonna team up after the win in Bad Gastein?
Sì, andrò di nuovo con la Lucia Dalmasso. Noi abbiamo vinto a Bad Gastein, quindi siamo una squadra forte, diciamo, e penso anche domani possiamo ben fare una bella gara. Anche lei è in una forma abbastanza bene, quindi penso che domani siamo lì e lotteremo e poi vedremo. Sicuramente è una bella gara, sarà di nuovo una bella pista, quindi sì, c'è da tirare al massimo e vedremo.
Grazie, Aaron.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Congrats. Fabi! Fabi!
Kdo je zajebo, da ste šli tja snemat pred lideri?
yours? Do I need it? You can have it. Sad kad jutri imamo tudi po podiumu, so lideri, to pomeni, da po podiumu pride še 2 gor.
Tok da veste, ker to je bilo vse zmenjen. Bernhard je vedel. Ampak, okay. Just a second. Ready?
Yeah.
Fabian Obman, second place in the men's. Fabi, what can you tell us about racing today? You were super fast, you were riding so consistent in all the heats, and then at the end, almost to the top spot. And it's your second podium also here in Simonhöhe. Yeah. What can you tell us about everything?
Yeah, it just makes so much fun racing here. After the first race in the quali, after the first ride in the quali, I sat down here. This is maybe the best slope I've ever ridden on, and a huge congrats to the organizers and to everyone who was involved in this in this race. It's just awesome what they built up here. It's a crazy good snow condition. It was so much fun riding here. Yeah, it's just awesome, and it's so close to my home region, and yeah, I've learned my first carves here, and it's so much fun, and the atmosphere was great, and I feel just a big appreciation.
Hey, we have a second team event race coming up tomorrow. What's your plan? With who are you gonna team up with?
I already don't know, actually. I think maybe with Claudia again after we went together in Bad Gastein. Yeah, full gas. I'm gonna send it tomorrow, and let's see where I'm gonna end up.
Amazing, Fabi. Hey, now we do the German answers. So, Fabian Obman, what can you tell us about racing today? How did it go in the big final against Fischnaller?
Ja, es hat den ganzen Tag einfach extrem viel Spaß gemacht. Ich habe nach dem ersten Lauf im Finale gesagt, das ist wahrscheinlich die beste Piste, auf der ich jemals ein Rennen gefahren bin. Von dem her ein riesengroßes Dankeschön ans Organisationsteam, an den Werner, an den Schöffmann. Und die haben da sowas Cooles auf die Beine gestellt. Das hat richtig Spaß gemacht zum Fahren heute. Und es macht natürlich noch mehr Spaß, wenn man das Ganze am Ende dann am Podium beenden darf.
Hey, tomorrow we have second team event race of the season. With who are you gonna team up, and what's the plan for the Saturday?
Ganz ehrlich, ich weiß es noch nicht genau, aber wahrscheinlich wieder mit Claudia, nachdem wir in Bad Gastein zusammengefahren sind. Ja, morgen. Es werden wieder knappe Entscheidungen, das heißt Vollgas. Ja, just gonna send it down the mountain.
Hey, congratulere Fabi, and thanks.
Danke.
Amazing stuff. Michel! Was genug kurz so, dass es fertig ist. Cesare! Fischnaller! Super, danke.
How much more time do you need?
How many more guys? 5, 6. A lot. Good job. A lot.
Because we're fighting for this podium. All the teams want to take a picture.
Redo? Che prestamo? Okay. Michelle, what can you tell us about racing today? How did it go?
Racing today was amazing. It was a beautiful course. The snow was perfect. Yeah, just a gorgeous day. So yeah, I'm super stoked about this day. Yeah, and the podium, of course. Yeah, it's fighting for that win, but Esther's still a little bit faster, but we'll get there.
It's, let's say, just one more individual PGS race before the Olympics. What's your plan for next week to Rogla and then Livigno?
Yeah, I think this is a good race. Also, boost confidence for, of course, the Olympics coming up. And yeah, I want to repeat that next weekend in Rogla, and then head to Milan or Livigno for hopefully an Olympic medal.
Amazing, thanks, Michelle. Now we do the Dutch answers. Michelle, what can you tell us about racing today? How did it go? Explain a little bit.
Ja, de wedstrijd ging heel erg goed. De piste was fantastisch, het weer natuurlijk en de koers. Ja, viel gewoon allemaal goed samen en natuurlijk heel erg trots op die tweede plek. Ja, net niet die eerste plek, maar dat komt nog wel en ik ga hard voor werken.
We have one more individual race coming up in Rogla next week, and then it's all about the Olympics. What's your plan for the upcoming weeks? What do you expect from yourself?
Ja, ik denk dat met deze wedstrijd dat het gewoon fijn is om het vertrouwen mee te nemen naar de volgende wedstrijd in Rogla volgende week. En daarna door naar Livigno en dan hopelijk kan ik meestrijden voor een Olympische medaille.
Grazie.
Thank you. Amazing. Let's go, boss. No. Sorry, no. We go with the live TV. Fish. Aka. Record button. Rec button. Okay, Lachto.
Roland Fischnaller, first place in the men's. Fish, what can you tell us about today? How did it go, like from qualis on, from your point of view?
My point of view, I have to say, Simonhöhe did a fantastic job with the slope preparation. That's the slope how every race should be. It's grippy, it's hard, it's very nice to ride. It's yeah, for me easy to ride. But also the girls, they did a good performance, and yeah, they did a fantastic job. Yeah, I'm pretty relaxed at the moment, I have to say, and I was just focused on the execution, on my performance, and I did it until in the final. And then against Obi, of course, you have to push a lot against a local hero, and yeah, I was super happy with my performance today.
You collected 3 victories this season, 3 podiums and 3 victories basically. What's the plan for the upcoming weeks?
The plan for the upcoming weeks, definitely the next week, I stay on the couch. I have to recover a little bit. We train a lot, we travel a lot. Was very intense the January until now, and now I have to go to my farm to go with my cows, and yes, I need a free spirit some days, and of course I will train a lot, but the next days, of course, I have to recover a little bit.
That means skipping Rogla?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now we do the Italian answers. Yes. Good. So, Fish, what can you tell us about the race today? How did it go from your point of view, from Qualison to the top big final?
Ja, sì, oggi devo dire soprattutto complimenti all'organizzazione qua di Simonhöhe, hanno fatto una pista fantastica, mi hanno chiamato settimana scorsa, cosa dici, vogliamo preparare la pista così e così, ho detto vai, così diventa veramente una bella pista, e questo è diventato oggi veramente per il nostro sport molto importante, pista dura con un sacco di grip, e quello così si vedono i turni che passano a paio di centesimi, e quello è proprio bello da vedere anche in televisione, e hanno fatto un fantastico lavoro. Noi come squadra abbiamo fatto di nuovo un bellissimo risultato, io con la vittoria, ma Aaron terzo. Sì, direi che siamo pronti per le prossime settimane, io sono molto fiducioso, ho trovato un setup fantastico, e per cui avanti così.
The next race is on Rogla. What's your plan before Rogla?
Rogla, English? No. Italian? Sì, per Rogla abbiamo il prossimo fine settimana a Rogla ancora, per me è una bellissima pista, ho vinto, ho perso il mondiale per 1 centesimo secondo, però mi ha regalato negli anni scorsi tantissime emozioni, vado più che volentieri a Rogla, però adesso la prossima settimana devo recuperare un po'. Sul mio maso vado un po' in stalla con le mie mucche, e mi alleno un po', però il focus nei prossimi giorni è di riposare.
Grazie, Fish.
Amazing. Esther, can you call her? Always. Smučan. Stari stoji u vrsti. Krvio da je to... No. Smučan. To je... Vaj sporta je smučanje, osim sporta biznis. Ne, pera. Yes, you cannot take photo. We're still doing the interview. Come on.
I'll do very fast answers, like super fast. Yes,
How does it feel?
No.
Just speak as fast as you write.
I will do.
We go. Can you check for Maderova? Zuza, to your left. Yeah, thank you.
So Esther, first place today, first snowboard alpine race of the season. You came back and finished at the top. What can you tell us about today? How did it go? You also won qualis. You were super fast against all the girls.
Yeah, it was awesome. We didn't have that much time to prepare this time, right after Tarvisio ski race. So it was really cool that we managed that. And I have to say huge thanks to Justin Reiter, to my coach, to my whole team, Ladja Polasek, and my tech guy Chunti, because they made an amazing job. And so it's really cool to have this team around me.
Like you said, you finished third in Super G on Sunday, and on Friday you win Snowboard Alpine race. What's the secret behind everything?
I don't know, to be honest. I was enjoying it. I enjoyed the ski race, and I enjoyed today the snowboard race. I was really excited to snowboard. I told Justin in the morning, I'm almost too excited. I have to focus and to be, because after such a long time, be back on snowboard. That made me really happy.
Yeah, for sure. And you also made history again. What's the plan for the upcoming weeks, basically? That's what we all want to know.
Yeah, I would love to know too, and my tech guy is now pushing on me to know too, so I have to decide. It's still open.
Okay, cool. Now we do the check answers. Good?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so Esther, what can you tell us about the race today? How did it go? You won also qualifications in the morning and then straight to the top in the women's big final.
No, byl to skvělý den, co k tomu dodat. Měli jsme hrozně málo času na přípravu, ale s mým týmem se to zvládli. Musím hrozně poděkovat týmu Justinovi a Láďovi a mý mamince, která tady byla s náma, za to, že se o mě takhle dobře stará, že tohle to můžu zvládnout.
Yeah, you were third in Super G on Sunday, and just like 5 days later, standing on the top spot in Snowboard Alpine. What's the secret behind it? Like, how can you manage all these changes and everything?
Jak jsem řekla, stojí za mnou úžasný tým a díky nim mám šanci dělat takovýhle zázraky malý. A jsem ráda, že jsme si to takhle všichni užili. Byl to krásný závod, takže fajn den.
Hey, what's the plan for the upcoming weeks for you?
To přesně ještě nevím, to chtějí vědět asi tak nějak všichni na mě tak nějak tlačejí, jako jestli pojedeme do Crans-Montany nebo do Rogly, ale asi si na to ještě dám jeden večer na rozmyšlenou.
Thanks, sister.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She gone? Okay. That's it. No more interviews. Ti dám nazaj tole. Jutr pa isto. Top 3. Pa, ja, to je to, top 3. Jutri imamo kar 2 naenkrat. Top. Teda vsaka en vprašanje pa je to. Okay, super. Hvala.
Yes, that's it.